Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today. If you will, like, share, comment on the post, and then you can join me in Philippians chapter 3, verse 18. After telling us in verse 17, Paul told us to mark those, to note those, as we looked at yesterday, those who walk like we do, those who walk as an example. Then in verse 18, he goes to the other side of the coin and says, now, he says, you mark those who walk in this example, because many walk, of whom I've told you often, now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Christ. When we get to this verse, one of the questions that has come up over the years in trying to teach this verse, teach this passage, understand this passage, is exactly what Paul means by enemies of the cross. Some have determined that they believe it means hypocrites. Others say false teachers. We know that Paul and the early church had a real issue with false teachers. Others think it's just kind of backslidden believers, or even false believers, people who are not really saved inside of the church. And so it's kind of, and there isn't any real indication of who Paul is talking about here as being enemies of the cross. He tells us here that many are in that boat. There's a lot of them. And he says, I've warned you of that often, which on one hand would tend to say, if it was something Paul warned often about, it would be false. It would be false teachers. Is certainly got to be one of the things that that we consider. And again, certainly that could be it. The hypocritical believers in the church. Any of those things could probably fit into this category of enemies of the cross. Just a straight unbeliever, somebody who doesn't know Christ, would be an enemy of the cross. Whoever they are, Paul says, it breaks my heart. I am weeping over this fact that they're are enemies of the cross, which that would tend, if he was weeping over it, would maybe lead us to believe that it is just an unbeliever, that Paul's heart was broken for those that are lost. One of the things that I have been taught over the years when it comes to trying to understand Scripture is that when Scripture is silent, you stay silent. And that's what the path I think I'm going to take here for the most part. It doesn't tell us who the enemies of the cross are, and so I'm not going to label a group, but I am going to say this. I think at times all of us have been and can be enemies of the cross, even believers. Many who I believe are genuine, blood-bought, going to heaven when they die Christians. Sometimes we do things, say things that tend to look like we are enemies of the cross. Certainly not friends of the cross. We do things that are an embarrassment to the kingdom. We do things that embarrass and hurt our Savior. We do things that are not in the will of God. We do things that don't bring glory, but instead bring shame on His name. And so, again, Paul doesn't say for certain who he's talking about. But I want to leave you today with this challenge is, I don't want to be an enemy of the cross. I don't want to do anything that wouldn't be seen as friendly towards the cross, friendly towards the message of Christ. I don't want to say or do anything, and we struggle, all of us, if we're honest, we struggle with that, that sometimes we say and do things that certainly don't bring glory and honor to the name of Christ and to his cause. And so let's keep that in mind. And make a determination in our heart. I don't want to be an enemy of the cross. You have a good day, and I'll see you here tomorrow morning.